Hey, there we go, finally. All right, I don't know what was going on with YouTube, but it would not load. I tried, it was the third time was a charm. Finally got it to go the third time. So, looks like we are live. You guys let me know if you can see me. Thanks for letting me know what was going on there, Austin. Brian Dispatch here, Bill Wagaman, Kevin L., Gary Katz, find a name here with us. Dad's here, Kevin L., Austin's there. There we go, Austin. Glad you guys made it. Appreciate you keeping me up to date on what was going on there. John Anderson's here. Well, glad that I was kind of starting to wonder if this thing was going to go tonight or not. There's Pete. Randy made it with a nut farm. So anyway, obviously lots of stuff going on tonight. Big game going on tonight. I don't know who's going to be on tonight or what's going to happen. I've got a shorter episode planned, not knowing for sure how many people we're going to have on tonight. Tractor Mike says it is the worst halftime show ever. Okay, that's saying something. So Bill Disc made it. Glad you guys here. Love to see those membership badges popping up. So anyway, like I was saying, we will. I don't have a full episode a long episode planned tonight. But you guys wanted to get together. Figure we can still do some stuff, and I got some things I want to talk to you guys about. The guys that did jump on tonight. So Ed's here with us, man. There is not many people in favor of this halftime show. Whatever's going on, so. But anyway, we'll go ahead and get started. We'll see who jumps on tonight. We'll see what kind of crowd we have and what we decide to do. That'll kind of dictate what we do, how many people we have on, and what everybody wants to do tonight. But as always, let's catch a little bit of housekeeping. Autocorrect, please double check your comments before you hit send. If autocorrect changes them to something I can't understand, I will have to skip them. Dennis Chapman's here. If you are on the Nobody Show Facebook page, please remember I cannot see those comments. This is a shared video from the Nobody Else's Auto page. If you want to comment, participate in the auctions or anything like that, or participate in the chat, you'll need to be on the Nobody Else's Auto Facebook page or the Nobody Show YouTube channel. If you just want to hang out there and watch on the Nobody Show Facebook page, you're perfectly fine there. Just please remember I cannot see those comments. So, anyway, trolls, we do occasionally get trolls on here. We've taken some steps to hopefully eliminate some of that. We've got Pete and Kevin L helping us out with them, as well as trying to keep people who just joined from commenting. So we do have to deal with some of that. We are also dealing with ads. You know, we do have to deal with ads. It's YouTube's baby. That's how they pay for this thing, is they run ads. So we have to fight some of those a little bit. And there isn't anything we can do about it. Super chats are always great. And we do now have the supercharged super chat badge. Whenever we get a super chat, the supercharged badge comes out. So that's been a lot of fun. We had a blast with that last week. So anyway, like I said, some things I want to talk about. I want to run by you guys, even though we aren't going to have a full crowd on tonight, I'm sure, because of the big game. Mike from Texas made it, though. I want to run some things by you as we come up on episode number 250. Thinking about making some changes, not huge changes, but do want to change a few things. I think we may do a little bit of rebranding. As far as the show itself goes, as far as the format with the badges and the promos and the auctions and the magazine and things like that. Jeff from Canada made it. Got Big Red made it again. Kicking around some different ideas with that. And if you guys have suggestions of what you would like to see added to the content or taken out of the content, you can always get with me, or, Pete runs our email list. You can sure send some emails to Pete. Pete will help me compile that data and see what you guys do or don't like, or what you would like to see added. We had a good suggestion about a guess the part. Guess what car this part is off of. Kicked that around a little bit last week or two. Must not have been much of a halftime show. Tractor Mike says it just wasted 10 minutes of his life. Talked about that a little bit, but, trying to figure out a way to do that where somebody can't just screenshot it, throw it into Google Lens, and then come up with the answer. Then how long do we go? And then, I think we could always give a few entries away into the monthly raffle, if nothing else, since you guys have all voted to definitely keep that. So talking about just throwing some different ideas out there. And there again, this show's about you guys more than it is me. So if you have suggestions, ideas, Alec made it. Glad Alec's with us tonight. Please let me know, or like I said, send Pete an email, and we can start compiling some of that data as we move forward with the chat. Incorporate Toy Tuesday into Sunday night. Not a bad idea, but I think, and that's there, what do you guys think? Toy Tuesday has kind of become a standalone deal. And sometimes when we get into some good stuff on Toy Tuesday, we can go 20 or 30 minutes on Toy Tuesday. We're trying to keep Sunday night, manageable time-wise. We try to keep it in that 2 to 2.5 hour window because when we didn't, and we just kind of rolled with whatever, we were going 3.5 hours, which was a lot. So I like the idea, but I don't know how it would work on timing. So, but like I said, I do want to tweak some things. I've talked to a few of you guys that have called this week about stuff, ran some ideas by some of you. And we'll probably try some stuff. Some of it may not work. We may switch it back. Some of it may be home runs. We don't know. We're just kicking some ideas around about how to tweak some things to make it a little more, user friendly. The magazine, Brian, we've just been leaving that towards the end. And if we have time, we do it. And if we don't, we don't. So the magazine has kind of become that part of the show that is almost optional. If we've got some time to check out some cool stuff, we do it. If we run out of time, we don't. So Billy Bowman made it. So like I said, these are just some ideas. Oh, wow. Alec has been laid up with pneumonia and a respiratory infection. I thought it was kind of odd that we hadn't seen you the last couple of weeks, Alec, but obviously you do know that you won a box out of the raffle now that you've gotten it. So glad your son's having fun with the truck. So hopefully that was a nice surprise after feeling that crappy for a while. So like I said, just some things I'm thinking about. And as always definitely up for your ideas. Now, one of the big changes that I am thinking about, and I'm going to throw this out there because I don't want to do it immediately. I don't want to just boom, do it right away. But this is something I'm thinking about that would be a fairly big change. Now, it wouldn't affect a lot of you, but when we started this deal 5 years ago, the first 20 episodes or so were strictly on Facebook. Since that has happened, there's been obviously major changes in what I do. YouTube 5 years ago was a few people. We're pushing 25,000 now subscribers. Pete likes the magazine and Toy Tuesday. So now obviously YouTube has grown dramatically. Obviously tonight numbers are a little wonky because of the game, and I understand that. But typically, basically the entire crowd is on YouTube. We do have some guys on Facebook every week, but it is very, very few. So one of the potential changes, now this isn't set in stone by any means. One of the things I was thinking of is we may go just strictly YouTube. That would free this computer up that I use for Facebook for some other cool additions that I'm thinking of adding to the show. Typically we'll have 50 people on YouTube and 5 people on Facebook. Now that's not a huge deal. And I mean, obviously if the guys want to watch on Facebook, I want you to be there. But if everything is happening on my YouTube screen, it's more work for me to manage 2 screens when there's just a few occasional things popping up on Facebook, because I don't want to miss you guys either. And so that gets a little tricky. But what the big thing would be is what it would allow me to use this computer for while we were doing that, if that works. So the possibility of going strictly YouTube on this is something I've been kicking around. Let's see. Focus on a feature of a vehicle and show how different manufacturers accomplished it throughout the years. We can squeeze some of that stuff in. Joe from Sandwich, Illinois is here. That, as far as coming up with something different every week, but I think we could probably maybe mix that in with another feature, Ed, possibly something like that. So we'll see. But yeah, that's, that type of feedback is what we want. We want to incorporate some of this stuff in there. And by incorporating some of this other stuff, that's where utilizing this other computer for other, to help do some of that might be beneficial. So there again, that's just something I'm throwing out there about going strictly YouTube on the chat. I will still put the notices up on Facebook so that everybody knew that we were going live, but possibly just doing the live on YouTube only. Now, like I said, that's completely up in the air, but it is an idea that I've had and have kicked around a little bit just because Facebook doesn't push this like they used to. We've talked about this before. Before it was Meta, when it switched to Meta a couple of years ago, YouTube was great. In fact, Facebook was great. We had about a 50-50 balance a couple of years ago. We'd have 20 or 30 people over here, 20 or 30 people over here. And we had a good mix, a good balance, good activity on both screens. I was constantly watching them both because there was stuff happening on both screens. But now with the way Facebook, Big Job made it, is not whatever we do, no Kendrick Lamar music ever. Okay. Yeah. Keep that in mind, Tractor Mike. Bill likes the show because of the history. Thanks, Bill. Appreciate that. Neil made it. So there again, the guys that are on Facebook, it's, it's just an idea. But there again, let me know what you think. Would you have a problem going to YouTube and being able to utilize this computer for some other stuff? So that's kind of some ideas I'm kicking around, but that would be a big change, obviously, if we went just strictly to YouTube. But like I said, since Facebook went to Meta and we're not pulling the crowd over there that we used to, I don't know if they just don't send notifications out. What we've got going on over on Facebook, it's just not pulling the crowd. I've tried different things with Facebook as far as, there's a button you can click to send notifications to your followers. There's the create an event button. I've made all that stuff. I've tried all that stuff. And nothing changes. We've still got 3, 4, 5 people on there every week consistently, but 3, 4, or 5 people. Charles made it tonight. So that's kind of what we're up against. So, I definitely don't want to, there's Kevin Brown. I definitely don't want anybody on Facebook to feel like you're being excluded, but I also want to think about what's going to make the entire show better. So, and by maybe possibly utilizing this computer for some other stuff that maybe that's a better idea. So definitely wanted to, I don't want to make that decision lightly or quickly, but that's why I would like to get some feedback from some of the Facebook guys on some of that. Balin Wire made it tonight. Ralph's here. So anyway, that is a big thing that has been weighing on my mind, and have ran it by a couple guys, a couple of our regular viewers that I've talked to this week. But definitely not something I'm just going to say, okay, we're not doing that anymore without letting you guys know and getting your feedback. To the Facebook, the guys that are usually on Facebook have a problem getting on to, YouTube and hanging out over there, things like that. So anyway, just some random thoughts as Steve made it, as we come up on episode number 250, as insane as that sounds. That's what I'm thinking about. What can we do to make this better for everybody? Maybe add a few new viewers, maybe bring a few viewers back that have kind of faded off. So that's just ideas that are rolling through my head. And as always, your guys' input is always welcome into what we're doing here. So, but there again, some rebranding, possibly some different features, and maybe some changes with Facebook. Leo made it tonight. As we come up on kind of a milestone point in the series and thinking about what direction, what gear we should grab next as we move forward with it. So anyway, just some thoughts, and obviously very curious as to what you guys think. Reach out to me, send Pete an email, and see what we'll see what you guys think as we get ready to take this show to hopefully maybe the next level. We'll see what happens. So anyway, episode number 250 coming up next week, like we had mentioned. A few interesting things we're going to be doing there. We're going to go through some old notes. Now, my notes from the first year are very, very spotty. A couple of lines a week on a yellow legal pad piece of paper. So Briggs made it. So we'll touch on some of that. Okay, Alex said would still be here on Sunday night if we go to YouTube. So I appreciate that, Alec. And you were one of the ones I was definitely thinking about for sure. You're always on there. Joe's usually over there on Facebook. So, there's just a couple of you guys that are really regularly on Facebook, and you and Joe, are definitely two that come to mind. So wanted to just there again, I wanted to put all this out there before we just started making big changes. So we had feedback and everybody had time to think about it. Great point, Leo. We kind of got off track here. Great Kitty, what's up? Let's have a Hudson badge. Great Kitty, what are you doing? What the heck? We are a little late. Let's throw the Auburn badge up there too. Leo, thanks for reminding me. You want to say hi? Okay, while we're talking about what direction we're going to go, who votes to keep Gray Kitty? Should we keep Gray Kitty? Or are you going to get voted off? We're going to see if they vote to keep you. Did you say keep Gray Kitty? Yes. Are you an important part of the show? You are? Of course you are. All right. Everybody says Gray Kitty stays. They're all voting to keep you. Everybody says keep Gray Kitty. You're kind of a pest sometimes, though. You're kind of a pest sometimes. Yes. Voted off the keyboard. Yeah, that's for sure. Old school's here. Don't ship off the mascot. All right, Gray Kitty. You turn around and say hi one more time, and then we're going to get back to the show here, okay? Okay, there you go. Say hi, Gray Kitty. Yes, hi, Gray Kitty. Okay. Well, you're in luck. Everybody voted to keep you. Keep Gray Kitty. All right, why don't you go sit down? That's true, Bill. She kind of did. So anyway, episode number 250 next week. We will get into some of those old notes. And like I said, there isn't a lot for that first year. But we'll go through some of that, kind of see how things started evolving. I did glance at those notes a couple weeks ago, and we kind of, yeah, she got sick of us, took off, and then came back. But as I was glancing through those notes, you can kind of see how it did start to evolve, how the feedback kind of, evolved into working these sheets up every week. So, nope, I still ain't going to buy any Japan cars. There's one 280Z out there that came in with a group of cars. That's the only thing out there like that. But no, I definitely have no desire to go start chasing that stuff. So we will rehash some of those notes. Joe wanted to start over with the promos, run back through the Chevy promos that we've done up to this point, which will be about 20 promo models out of that big Chevy collection of promos we had. So we will work through some of that next week. And we're going to have a lot of fun. You guys absolutely do not want to miss next Sunday night, episode number 250. May have a few surprises worked in there for you too. So absolutely do not want to miss episode number 250 next week. Notes on the gathering. Things are still coming together like Pete put the note out. There are We are at about the halfway point in the gathering. And, a lot of guys are still checking on availability on their schedules and things like that. So we're lots of stuff coming together on that. Justin's here with Fireball's Garage. So, but it is coming together. We've got a great plan. Every time I talk to Ryan at the brewery, he's got new ideas. The automotive trivia we want to try to do Saturday night, and hopefully maybe even engage the guys that can't physically be here in the trivia on Saturday night. Ryan, see if there's a way we can figure that deal out. So it's exciting, it's fun, and it's going to be a great time for all of you guys that can make it that weekend, April 26th, to the second annual gathering of the Nobodies. So anyway, what else has been going on? How about the Nobodies page? Good idea, Austin. The Nobodies page put together for us by Zach and Andy. If you're not on this page, be sure to check it out. Awesome Facebook page that allows all you guys to chat, share your projects. What's been going on in here? Matt's got a good post. What's the big game? Don't know, son. We're car people. Lots of you guys helping each other out with your projects. Ryan posted his Studebakers on there. A lot of great stuff. I mean, a lot of participation in there. And it's been awesome that you guys continue to add to it. 90 members, pushing that 100 mark. Get your friends involved, share it with your friends, and see what and get them over there to join it. Have them start hanging out with us. It's been a lot of fun, and like I said, can't thank Zach and Andy enough for putting that together. If you're not on it, get on there, answer the questions. That's how they know that you've been hanging out with us, and they will get you fired right into the group and start hanging out in that chat as well. Did you get one of the oil cans for the 250 shows a door prize? I hadn't really thought about doing any door prizes next week, Bill. Hadn't thought about that at all. The coasters I ordered, but I haven't gotten them. I ordered them. He sent me a picture, said he was having a little bit of trouble with the font. And I said, well, if it doesn't work, just do a regular font on it, and haven't heard anything since. So I keep thinking any day that I'm going to hear they're going to be ready, but that's a good question, Austin. I physically don't have them yet. I ordered them, told him to get them going, and he usually gets them to me pretty quick. So I don't know if I know he was sick there for a week or two when I ordered them, but that was still a couple weeks ago. So I'll have to touch base with him again. Kevin's not a regular Facebooker, but he loves the page as well. Dan from Defiance is here. Depends on what it is, Jay. Just depends on what you're buying, how much of it you're buying, things like that. Joe's getting a little thirsty. So anyway, moving forward, like I said, we'll see how tonight goes on viewers based on what's going on with the big game, but we'll see what happens. We'll keep moving on. New inventory this week. If like, share, and subscribe, appreciate that, Mike. If you guys caught the short, I did pick up one newer car this week, mainly because it was on the street and it was pretty close to my shop. They had to get it moved because the cops had already red tagged it. It's a Tahoe, like a 2000 Tahoe or something like that. If you guys missed the short on that, you need to go check it out. I've never rolled something off the trailer and found this laying on the trailer that fell out of the vehicle that I had on the trailer. So that was actually pretty funny. That's right, Alec. We'll talk about those plates here in a minute. It is kind of a different deal on plates because I've never had a set of these at one time to offer on an auction or anything. So that's why they're on the raffle. So we'll talk about that here in a minute, Alec. Frank's here with us. Yeah, Sunday engine. That's a good way to put it, Tim. So yeah, like I said, I thought it was kind of funny. The guy said it started making a noise. He pulled it over and parked it. And then of course the cops found it, red tagged it as an abandoned vehicle. So he calls me, I got to get it moved. So he sold it to me And it never had that happen before. I moved a lot of cars, never found one of those laying on the trailer before. $8 million for a 30-second ad. They spend 10 minutes on Kendrick Lamar. Yeah, you'd think they'd want to sell a few more commercials, but that's how I found it, Bill. That's exactly how I found it. But the interesting stuff that came in this week, I did go to an antique show on Friday, a small local antique show. I did get 2 promos, a couple signs. Well, I got 1 sign. I picked up 2. I bought 2 signs. One of them's for a buddy of mine. 1 sign for me. Red lines. Got some red lines that we're going to be checking out on an upcoming Toy Tuesday. Some sweet red lines. So I did get a few pieces at the antique show. What's going to be of more interest to you guys, I bought some license plates. 511 license plates. Yes, I counted them up. 511 more license plates. Bill, he's heard of red lines. Now, what's great about this stuff, and this is what I was excited about when I was going through them, all kinds of states we haven't had before. There's a lot of Kansas in there, don't get me wrong, but that's exactly what I was thinking, Brian. It was pretty dry. Yep, only 511. There's a lot of states in there that I have not had to offer you guys, over the last few years. Just off the top of my head, I know there's Nebraska, Iowa, some Dakotas, some Oklahoma, Texas. I think there's some Maine, Wisconsin, Minnesota, and a lot of other states we haven't seen, and some stuff with that goes back into the 20s in some of these other states. So we've got a lot of really cool stuff that is going to be coming up on license plates. Most of this stuff, there's probably not a lot of it that I'm going to keep since I've got my entire collection of Kansas. And I've got some other ones like the Canadian ones that are shaped like a bear, things like that, that are specific ones that I've got for myself. But the majority of these, and there's some great stuff in there, are going to be heading to your collections over the next several months. And like I said, it's cool because it's different stuff, which means it's different shapes, it's different colors, it's different sizes, different eras, different decades, going back 100 years on this stuff. So that's exciting. I did grab a few of them for tonight, as a matter of fact, to start with, just to give you a quick sampling. Some cool symbols on some of this stuff, cool designs. I'm excited. So nice, Gary. Nothing wrong with that. So anyway, that's coming up, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I haven't really looked through them much anymore, and but I did grab a few. I haven't sorted them. I haven't dumped them out of the crates. They're all in milk crates, and so just kind of flipped through them, saw a ton of cool stuff, grabbed a handful for tonight, and then so we'll start working some of those in, and we're going to have a lot of fun with those because it's stuff we haven't seen before. And some of it's probably going to be for some of your stuff, or some from some of your areas too. I don't remember any Delaware plates, Bill, but like I said, I haven't gone through them all yet either. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun for me. It's going to be a lot of fun for you. But yeah, I did it. I did a flip through them as a quick count, kind of figure out what I was paying for all of them, and there were 511 of them on there. So Matt's here with us. So anyway. Time for a promo, time for an emblem, time for a hubcap, time to talk about these plates in this raffle. Story time, I actually did not get ready for tonight because we have, I started going through them and we've done so many of them. I need to stop and regroup on story time. And I wasn't actually marking these pages, so I need to put a little dot on the pages that we've done or something like that. So I don't have story time for tonight either. We'll get back on it for next week for sure. But the more these packets of paperwork I went through, the more I realized we had done. So, good point, Big Job. 2 years ago, we lost Withrow. That's kind of crazy to think about. You know, Jason Withrow, a great supporter of what we did on here. His daughter was on with us last week. Jason was always here, ready to go every Sunday night religiously, very active in the chat. You know, great guy to hang out with us. Had a lot of fun, very active, and was a very big contributor to what we did on here. So that's kind of sad to think that was 2 years ago that we lost him. But thanks for bringing that up, Big Job. I appreciate that. So on to tonight's promo model, another one out of the Chevy collection. Like we've been talking about the last several months, Dad and I went to an auction in September. These people that owned the Chevy dealer up in a small town in north central Kansas, and each year they took whatever promo models they particularly liked, they took them home and put them in their house. And this was the collection that they sold. So these things are in great condition. This one is a pretty cool one. I like this one especially. Going back to the same year I was born, a little over 50 years ago, as crazy as that sounds, to 1974. In medium dark green metallic, the 1974 Chevy Caprice Coupe. Once again, just like all these Chevy promos, condition on these second to none. Lights are there, bumpers are intact. Big two-door Caprice Coupe. Yes, it is definitely a boat. Not chipped up. The trim is all there. This is another one of those that was painted in that metallic dark green. If we look at the bottom side of it, we can see it is slightly different. It's a little bit darker green. The actual molding itself was a little bit darker green plastic. Now, with all these promos, this bottom piece was just one piece of injected plastic, showing the basics of the details, but none of these, you know, the engine and all that stuff, like a lot of model kits, those are separate pieces. These were not. The suspensions, everything was all molded into the bottom base plate. Lots of hearts there from Pete. Inside, the big luxurious bench seat interior, standard in these big old Chevys. Almost all of them baling wire. Just about all 74 Chevys, is about anything from 71 to 76. If it has been through a demo derby. I've got a row of them left, but it's tough to. The demo derby guys went through these things like water. So, slam it down. Yep. So yeah, and that's something. Another good point, Kevin. That a similar green was used on a lot of the GM pickups in that era as well. So these big 70s cars, you guys know I love them. We got a handful of these 70s era Chevys. Kevin's uncle that lived in Great Bend had one just like it. And actually, this one is also a 454 car, Kevin. If you look very closely up here on the front fender, I don't know if you guys can see it or not. It does have the 454 badge molded into it right there. Jeff, we toured the Oshawa plant that year, and they had this promo cut in half lengthwise in a picture frame. That's cool. They would make nice display pieces that way as well. That doesn't surprise me either, Tim. Those 70s, any of that big 70s iron, those demo guys are hard after that stuff. So, there again, you guys know I like the big 70s cars, so we did get some of these big 70s Chevy promos. Yeah, and that's right, Bill. I had kind of forgotten about that, too. I've seen some of those as dealer awards, too. So anyway, there it is, the 1974 Caprice two-door in medium dark green. Brett's with us from Tyler, Texas tonight. Pappy made it. So anyway, let's catch a badge, let's catch a cap, and let's talk about the raffle. Tonight's badge, figured I'd get something related while we were doing it, although it is slightly different. We've got the 74 Caprice promo. I had an emblem laying there. I was like, what the heck? Let's just do that because they're kind of related. The 1974 Impala grill bow tie. Now, this was an Impala piece. If we look at our promo on the Caprice, we can see in the middle of the grill. Oh, let's see if I can get this where we can see it. Does not have a bow tie. It has the Caprice emblem at the top of the grill. This was the 74 Impala center grill emblem, which would have gone basically right in the middle at the peak on the 74 Impala. Doesn't look like a huge badge considering it was a pretty big car. This actually also had a gold insert in it, which is missing. This is a pot metal chrome plated emblem. There was actually a fairly decent amount of detail put together on this emblem. Eric's here with us. It actually has kind of a countersunk lip in here. It has a curved rolled edge here at the top, all the way around on this pot metal piece. Stud mount, kind of V-shaped, sitting on the peak of the grill. Holy cow, Pappy, they dropped it off the lift? That's nuts. Backside, just a clean basic emblem where it would bolt onto the grill as it followed the contours of the grill with the V shape. This emblem, considering the size of the car that it was going on, is only a little over 5 inches long and about 1 inch and 5/8 tall. So not a big emblem for the size of the car or the size of that grill, but definitely a distinct piece. And when you look up close and see all these detail in it, even in the 70s, now they just slap a blue piece of plastic on it. But when you look at the details and the curves and the design, even just on this grill emblem, even just from the 70s, kind of crazy how much different it really is. 74 Impala grill, Austin. So, how bad your truck, Pappy? Did it tear it up very bad, or crashed the running boards, bent the rocker panel, a little damage under the cab? So, well, at least it's fixable. Let me grab the cap for tonight. This is a pretty cool cap. This actually came off of a car in the yard. I have sold the rest of them. I kept this one, and just because I thought it was pretty neat. If you guys will remember here, oh shoot, when was it? Been at least a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. If you plan on doing a tour of all the F bodies at some point, don't know when. I've got most of them in one area, but there's a lot of scattered F bodies too. I've got, I think I'm over 70 right now on F bodies. So probably should start doing them in sections or something. I don't know. I've had so much new inventory coming in that it's been, that everything that I've got shot right now is all new inventory and haven't really spent a lot of time on what's here. But yeah, we do have some guys that do want to see some more F bodies, not a garage. So do need to at some point work some of that stuff in. So anyway, tonight's cap. Going back to the 30s, if you guys remember, I don't know if it was last year or year before, but I picked up a 1937 Oldsmobile 8-cylinder sedan. And I saved one of the caps off of it. They were all in the trunk. I thought this was a good looking cap with the Oldsmobile, and it's kind of a weird font. And then, of course, the rings that surround it. It is to me, I think it's a very unique font. I'm sure that these letters and all these lines were probably red or some other color, but I would imagine they were painted, I'm guessing red. But it's a good looking cap, basic dog dish cap, steel back with a chrome cap on it. This particular cap is about 9.5 inches in diameter. And there again, but it's off a big car. It's off of an Oldsmobile. So it, good looking piece. I don't know. In 1937, Oldsmobile made two different cars. They made a 6 and an 8, and they were completely different cars. They don't even look alike hardly. There's Andy, the Rusty Okie made it. This particular one is off of an 8-cylinder car, but a 6-cylinder car may have used a similar cap as well. I'm just not sure. Regardless, I thought it was a good-looking cap, so I sat one back for me before I sold the other ones. So that's what we got for tonight. The 1974 Chevy Impala front grill badge and the 1937 Oldsmobile 8-cylinder hubcap. No, Andy, I'm not planning on being there. Yeah, no problem. Sounds good. There goes the hearts. Love the hearts. Okay, Raffle, who's in? Let's touch base for the guys who weren't here before. And so anyway, Alex was asking. Alex been laid up the last couple weeks. Let's go over these plates one more time here real quick so you guys can see what we're talking about and why this is kind of a different collection. In 1951, Kansas issued this license plate. This is actually cut out to match the shape of the state. Steve actually has a 38 old 6-cylinder, so that's cool. Now, Kansas did not issue plates in 52 or 53. Korean War was on, so I assume it was a metal shortage type thing. So what they did is what we do today. When you renew your tag, you don't get a plate every year, you get a sticker. Well, they didn't have stickers, they had metal plates. So we have a 51 with the 52 plate added to it. As you can tell, this one did have it at one point, but it's been taken off. So we've got the 51, the 52, with the metal 52 dated plate, as well as the 53 with the yellow tag on it. These are actual metal, small metal tags that are bolted to the 51 tag. And yes, they do go right over the 51. So that's why it's kind of different. We've had some of these small pieces before. We've had some 51 plates, but I've never at the same time had a full set to offer you guys 51, 52, and 53 all at the same time. So I thought we would throw these in for this month's raffle. So, who's in? Waylon Wires is here now with Balin Wire. Glad you guys both made it tonight. Who got in here? Well, actually, the first couple weeks. This is the last, all the entries I've had so far. What are you doing, Great Kitty? Oh, here's your ball. Here. Great idea, Pete. If you are new tonight, say hi. Let us know you're here. Jesse Daring, Big Job, Adam Briggs, Zach Thompson, Mike Barger, and Randy Ellenberger, all in as of right now in this month's raffle. Now, like we talked about, a few weeks ago. We're going back to one primary prize. And then if we get more participation, we may throw more in. So we will be giving the plates away for sure. And regardless, even if we don't add any more prizes, we will still draw at least one more name to kick off the next raffle. So you'll at least get some entries into the next raffle. So we will at least draw 2 names for sure every time we do the raffle. Speaking of the raffle, when I went to the antique show this weekend, I found next month's prize. I'm telling you about it right now because then I can't back out. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm telling you I found something super cool at the antique show. Kenny made it tonight. That is just a killer piece. There's no box for it, and I can't see how it doesn't have a box because it is so nice. It is so nice that I can't understand why there's no box for it. It's almost dead mint. And toys just don't survive this nice. So pretty excited about that. Can't wait to show you that in a couple of weeks after we give away all these Kansas license plates. This full set of 51 to 53 with the little tiny tags designating 52 and 53. So that was going to be fun. I know you guys are going to dig that one for sure. How about a Hudson badge? So anyway, what do you guys think? We want to do a few auction pieces tonight, see how things go, see how people hang on as far as people that are watching the game and stuff like that. You guys let me know what you think. Like I said, look at that. Look at that. Supercharged super chat. Thanks to Randy with the Nut Farm. Supercharged super chat. Boom. Thanks, Randy. Always appreciate the super chats. That's why we started busting out the supercharged badges for the super chats. The 1935-1936 Auburn Boat Tail Speedster supercharged hood emblem for all super chats. Thanks, Randy. Appreciate it. And the greatest thing about it is the fact that what we're doing here, you guys think is worth throwing a few bucks at it just to make sure we keep going with super chats. That's so awesome that you guys think highly enough of what we do here to do that, and I really appreciate it. So looks like Austin is definitely ready. So we'll see how it goes tonight. We'll see how many people we have on as we proceed through some auction stuff. But we'll go ahead and work some stuff in because, like I told you, we got to get some. I got to share some of these new tags with you. And remember, we're going 90 seconds on them now. Let me regroup here a little bit, gather up some stuff, move the boxes over here around, get the notepad ready to rock and roll. If you guys can just bear with me for a minute or so. Austin hasn't gotten anything in a while. He's rip-roaring ready to go. Oh. You're a great kitty. You're a great kitty. All right, we got a few things rounded up here and ready to go. And like we've talked about, we did switch this to 90 seconds. So, as always, we'll talk about a piece. We'll hold it up. We'll check it out. We'll talk about that car. We'll talk about that piece. We'll point out any damage. We'll give you some dimensions so you know how big it is. As we're doing that, if it's something you're interested in, go ahead and throw a bid out there. Let us know it's a piece that you're interested in adding to your collection. After we get done with the description, I will hit the timer on my phone. We are now going 90 seconds instead of 2 minutes. I will tell you when 30 seconds is gone. I will tell you when 1 minute is gone. At the 1 minute mark, it's time to be throwing your bids out there. These last couple of weeks, we've had a lot of guys that are coming in 2, 3, 4 seconds late trying to learn the new timing, and a lot of them are getting bid on it. So when I tell you a minute's gone, it's time to throw the max bid out there and let her rock and roll. So there we go. 30 seconds are gone. I will try to make sure I tell you when 30 seconds is gone, 1 minute. And then when we get to 90 seconds, the highest bid that I see on one of my screens, whether it is Facebook or YouTube, will be declared the winner. And I will try to keep up with all the notes on them. We'll start off with a few smaller things here. And so people, and I will announce the bids on all of the first few pieces so people can kind of get a feel for what they're seeing versus what I'm seeing, and we'll see how things go. Toys, you guys like toys, I'm sure. We can do a few toys. We'll start off with a few toys here. Like I said, something cheaper here to get started with. That way we get a few bids going, and I read the bids. We see where we're at, and you guys can get a feel for what I'm seeing on my end versus what you're seeing on your end. So let's do some toy boats. Plastic toy boats, probably 60s era. I don't even see names on any of these. This first one, kind of a battleship looking toy boat. These are extras because I've already got them all. So I pulled a set of all these out of the box, selling you the extras. 6.5 inches on this little battleship boat. This little tugboat, red and blue plastic. About 6 inches. Randall going to the Nut Farm account for the auction action. And another kind of, well, this might be the SS Minnow. I'm not sure. Maybe this is the SS Minnow. Going for a 3-hour cruise. I don't know. Kind of a little cabin cruiser type thing. So, like I said, some cheaper stuff to get things started with. Where's our boat collectors? Where's our toy collectors at? All 3 boats, one-shot deal. You're getting the whole handful of them. Maybe. Unless we don't have any toy collectors out there. Let's give it a few more seconds. If not, we'll move on to something different. And I will throw these back in my toy boxes. No boat players? Big Job at 10. Let's go ahead and roll with it. We'll just sell them. Toy boats, $10 with Big Job opening bid. We're working our way to the plates, Gary. We're starting with a few small things so everybody can kind of see where the bids are at. That's right, Big Job's new bath toys. We'll catch a plate after these. 30 seconds gone. Big Job at 10. One minute gone. That's right. That's exactly what I was thinking, Leo. The rubber ducky. The last batch Big Job got, his grandson claimed him. So just about ready to wind this one down. Big Job at 10. Looks like these are going to his toy box since his grandson got the rest. And they are. There's Glenn. Put those in Big Job's pile. Now we'll catch a plate. This one does have some paint loss, but it's really cool. And it's something different. There again, that's what I'm excited about. These are plates that we haven't done, haven't seen, and there's some neat, cool stuff in them. I bet that happened to a lot of those toy boats or toys like that, Brett. They met some firecrackers as kids got older. All right, let's check out a new plate from a different state that we haven't done before with an amazing graphic on it, even though it does have some paint loss. 1971, 54 years old, from the great state of Wyoming. Yes, Wyoming with their bucking Broncos. This is actually embossed into the plate. The cowboy on his bucking Bronco embossed in the plate. You can see it right here. There goes the hearts. Pretty cool stuff. Like I said, this one's a little bit rough because of the paint loss. Gary at 5, but a super cool plate when you've got this kind of artwork stamped in it. Tony 10, Eric at 10. Back, I think all the paint's original, but just has some paint loss and some surface rust. Balenwire 15, Rusty Okie 20. And let's get this thing going on the timer. Here we go. Balenwire 28. $30 seconds gone. Yep, it did escalate quickly, Tim, but it's a cool plate when you see the stuff's actually stamped into it. Balenwire 28. There could be a sniper out there, Leo. We're going to find out in 30 seconds because 1 minute is gone, 30 seconds left to go. Balenwire at 28. Alec 35. Austin 40. Couple seconds left. And that does it. Austin at 40. Wyoming only has 23 counties. Was not aware of that. Austin at 40. All right. Told you we got some cool plates coming. Different stuff. Let's catch a cap. You guys might remember this cap. From last week. Nice, Austin. We talked about this one last week. I was actually going to sell it last week and sat it offside and forgot about it. Who liked the opal cap from last week? Did you guys like this one? I was thinking about selling it last week, and I kind of forgot to. We had a big conversation about it last week. You guys interested in this? I think it's the Opal GT cap. It is about 7 inches in diameter. It has the Opal badge in it right there. Pete, 15. That is actually kind of riveted in. I can see 2 little nubs back here like that badge is riveted in to the little Opal cap. Chrome-plated steel with the Opal badge in it. Pete, starting us off at 15, and away we go on the timer. Gary, 18. Eric, 25. Coming up on the 30-second mark, I've got Eric at 25. There's 30 seconds gone. 1 minute left. Eric at 25. One minute gone, 30 seconds left to go. Eric at 25. We're ticking away. It's just been all been cricket since Eric threw that 25 out there. But we're just about ready to wind her down. And that did it. Eric's 25 got it done. Hey, we got one more batch of pens and pencils. Austin's still on, right? Tractor Mike's on, though. Let's do some more ag pen and pencils. This is actually the last handful from an auction I got a couple weeks ago. Starting off with John Deere from Cimarron, Kansas. Case. This is kind of funny. I don't know where this is from. It doesn't have a city on it, but it does have the Case Eagle at the top. But you guys I got to read this to you guys. Schwint Implement Company, Plumbing and Heating. Implements, Plumbing and Heating, phone 61. Another Deere from Nest City, Strecker Machinery. John Deere, Buick, and Lark sales. Another Case. It costs less to farm with Case, once again with the Case Eagle on it. This one from the Cox Implement Company, Meade, Kansas. They got a 3-digit phone number, 417. One more Deere. Actually, it's the same Deere. I didn't realize these Deers are duplicates. Both from Strecker Machinery. All right, 3 Deere, 2 Case. Who's starting us off on the ag pen and pencil collection? Austin at 10. I know Austin loves these things. Tony, 5. I got Austin at 10. Let's get it on the timer. All 5 of them. That's true, Pete. Just past the 30-second mark, advertising did used to be really cool. They got the logos on them, the Case Eagle on them. One minute gone, 30 seconds left, and crickets. That's right, Big Job. Double W 12, Weston at 12. Just about ready to wind it up, and that'll do it. Weston at 12. Austin came back with a 15, but it was too late. We'll put those over in Weston's pile. How about another different license plate? This one's really different. This is a very unique plate, very colorful, from our friends up north, all the way up in North Dakota. This thing is funky. Going back to 1950, 75 years. Yes, hello, Gray Kitty. What are you doing? Check this thing out. Look at this. This is kind of a waffle board type plate. It is aluminum, but it's literally a waffle type plate. Orange with black letters. 1950 North Dakota. We do see it does have a little bit of paint loss down here. Backside still looks pretty good. This particular plate, Gary 12, Kevin 10. About 11 5/8 by about 5 1/4. So a little bit smaller than a standard 12x6 plate. There you go, Big Red. Now we're all going to want Waffle House. Thanks. Now we're all going to be hungry. Alec 15. I don't know if that's a good question, Nut Farm. If this made them more reflective, I think Ohio did some of these waffle type plates as well. I really don't know if that was the reason. But it's a good idea. See? Exactly. Now, way to go, Big Red. Now you got Austin on Waffle House. Not sure what these, let's see. It looks like, well, you know what I bet it was? I bet this was like, Brett would live at Waffle House. I wonder, because we've got 4 strategically placed holes here in the middle. We got a hole at the top, a hole at the bottom. I bet 51 probably was the same thing like Kansas. It probably had a plate that went over the top of this to change the year. I bet that's why it was. Chattanooga, Tennessee has the best Waffle House on the planet. That's a pretty tall statement, Brett. So a really unique piece, something kind of different on this 1950 North Dakota waffle type license plate. Alec at 15 is our high bidder as we hit the timer, and away we go. We are live on the 1950 North Dakota. Coming up on the 30-second mark. 30 seconds gone. 1 minute left. Alec at 15. Kevin at 20. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left. Kevin at 20. Getting ready to wind this one down. We're coming out of the end. Tony, 24. Couple seconds left. Tony at 24. And that does it. Tony at 24. Kevin had a 25, but it was too late. So North Dakota, that literally does call them a waffle aluminum plate. Okay. Well, this one's heading to Tony's collection. We'll catch another plate or two yet tonight, too. But what we haven't done yet tonight is a horn button. And we all love horn buttons. This one off of a mid-60s Impala. I'm not sure on the exact year, but a pretty cool one. With the Impala encased in the plastic, surrounded by these gold lines. And the Impala prancing across the field. There goes the hearts. I love the hearts. Chrome housing, which looks amazing on this one. With the plastic center. We can see the back where this was all molded into the plastic. Looks like the clips are broke. If you were going to actually try to use this on a car, it looks like the clips are bad. But the piece sure looks pretty cool. Let me give you some dimensions on it. Balun wire 35. It's about 3 1/4 across the back. And it's about 1 5/8 deep. Balun wire 35. Let's get this thing on the timer and away we go. Balun wire may have taken a knockout shot with that one. He's done that before. Yes, can I help you? Can I help you? No, that's the keyboard. You're not going to go that way any further. You can come over this way. Check out this horn button we might be shipping to Balun wire with a knockout punch like Gary says. Hey, you're up here in the auction. Should we auction you? Should we auction you? Why don't you move out of the way? There we go. All right. 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. Yes, hello, Gray Kitty. Balun wire at 35. We'll see if anybody's going to challenge that. Something like that. Something in the mid-60s for sure. I'm not sure if it's 4, 5, 6, something like that, but somewhere right in that window. Yes, you're a gray kitty. You're a gray kitty. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Balun wire 35. They're putting a gray kitty symbol up over here for you. How about you stay back out of the way, goofball? That's another keyboard. You don't need to be dancing over there either. We'll have to contain you. Getting ready to wind this one down. A few seconds left to go. And that did it. Balun wire's knockout punch right out of the gate took care of it. Balun wire 35. Alec had a 38 and it was 3 seconds too late. Kevin had a 40. Woo, Balun wire barely snuck that out. 2 shots within 5 seconds of the timer running out. But at 1 minute and 30 seconds, it was still Balun wire at 35. Kat, do you mind? Do you mind? All right. Sit right there. Well, I got to make these notes. Yes, yes. I'll go through where we're at on that check you sent Balun wire to and kind of see where we're at on the stuff you've got over the last few weeks. Yes, you're sitting on the Hudson badge now. They want the Hudson badge and I can't get to it. That's the keyboard. You can't go over there. We've had that discussion before. That's the keyboard. You can't go tap dancing on that. Yes, let go. Let go of me. Meow. You're kind of turning into a pest. Do you mind that you're turning into a pest? Yeah, say hi to everybody, then you're going to go down for a little bit. March, Pete, which is probably when I'm going to get up there. So $5 for you. That might be a little more than you're worth some days. Yeah, she didn't like that when I snatched her up. There you go. Yeah, why don't you hop down? Good girl. Okay. So yeah, that's probably when I'm going to end up getting up there, Pete. Let's see what else we got here. We ain't done a grease cap yet tonight, huh? What about that? Huh? How about a grease cap? From our friends at Hupmobile, the big H. At least I'm pretty sure it's Hupmobile. That's kind of a font that Hupmobile typically used. Had the hex outside the perimeter. I don't know if we'll do any more toys yet tonight, Weston. Other than those plastic boats we did at the start. So the big job's going to use to play in the bathtub with. Got the hex out around here. Obviously, the internal threads like all these had. We can see in the back where the H is all stamped in this aluminum cap. Nut Farm 20. And as always, what's important about these all have dings and dents around the perimeter. These things were used for years. But right here where the big H is, I don't know if you guys can see the lines in these areas behind the H, where this had kind of some lines stamped in it for decorative purposes. All looks good on this Hupmobile cap. Nut Farm at 20. Let's get this thing rolling on the timer. 15 on the cat. Nut Farm at 20. $30 seconds gone. 1 minute left. One minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Nut Farm at 20 on this killer Hupmobile cap. Pete, 21. And that got it done. Pete, Nut Farm had a 30 in there, and it came in at 132. Eric had a 22. So close. It came in literally as I hit end. It was showed 132, and then the Nut Farm's 30 popped up. Alec had a 23 that was a little too late. Pete at 21 by that much because there was 3 other shots that just didn't quite get here. How about another one of these cool old plates from a different state? Going back 90 years. We're backing them up. Slowly but surely. Couldn't even find a plate like that. Yep. There's some cool, weird stuff in this batch I just got. Covered in cat fur now. I do know that. But we're going to back this one up 90 years to 1935, go just directly north of us to our friends in Nebraska. Now, this is, once again, an original paint plate, from what I can tell. it's kind of browned on the front. When I look at the back, which obviously would have been, to the back side, looks like it was more gray. So maybe this was kind of a gray with black numbers on this 1935 Nebraska. And it is kind of an odd size as well. Obviously, Gary, 15. Most of our plates are, kind of roughly 12 by 6 is a pretty standard number on plate sizes. This 1935 Nebraska is about 10 5/8 by 5.5. 10 5/8 by about 5.5 on this 1935 Nebraska. We do have a little bit of damage up here on the top, but this thing does appear to be all original paint. Black and gray per their website. Okay, so that's kind of what I was thinking it was. Gary at 15. Let's get this thing boogieing on the timer. There again, more cool, neat, different stuff in some of these plates. $30 seconds gone. 1 minute left to go. Gary, 15. Dosper County. Thought stuff was slipping. Coming up on that 1 minute mark. Gary at 15. That's all we've got so far. Kevin at 20. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go. Kevin at 20. Just about ready to wrap this one up. Austin, 25. Few seconds left. I've got Austin at 25. Tony at 24. Kevin at 26. At the 130 mark, Kevin got a 26 in there. I was reaching up to hit the stop on the timer and seeing Kevin's bid pop up. It went 130. There was like a nanosecond that Kevin had to work with, but he got it done, but it was a nanosecond to get that 26 in. In fact, he probably kind of owes Tony a favor because I seen Tony's pop up, so I was looking at that as I was watching as it hit 130, but Kevin barely got that slid in there by a nanosecond. How about another cap? This is a really unique cap. I don't think we've ever sold one because I don't know that I've ever seen many of these. I don't even know if I've ever seen this cap. For our Ford fans, that was the 50, I believe. Yeah, that waffle plate was a 50. So something a little bit different for our Ford fans on this cap. I don't know much about it. It's kind of an odd duck. I think it's late 60s stainless cap. You guys tell me. We're going to go ahead and sell it and add it to one of your guys' collection for our Ford fans on this kind of diamond-shaped cap. Not really sure what it is. I found it in my buddy's yard. It's got 5 of these little stanchions sticking off the side. Obviously, the Ford Motor Company stamped in it. It's got these ridges stamped all the way around the side of it. You can see the backside is clean and all stamped as well. Don't really know much about what this one is, but it is a very unique design for a Ford cap. Diameter-wise, 10.5. I don't know much about it, Pete. It's kind of an odd duck. So, but anyway, I know some of you guys got to be Ford fans that want to add this one to your collection because it's kind of a different one. So who's going to get us rolling on the Ford cap? Weston at 5. Rusty Okie, 25. And we are live and on the timer, and away we go. Rusty Okie at 25. We'll probably catch one more plate after this. Nut Farm at 30. At 10.5 inches in diameter, I don't think it, usually a 3/4 ton's a little bigger than that. Nut Farm at 30. "30 seconds gone. 1 minute left to go. And there's the 1 minute mark. 1 minute gone. 30 seconds left to go on this one. Nut Farm at 30. We'll catch one more plate after this, and then we'll see where we're at. But 70 to 74, Maverick and Mustang. Nut Farm at 30, getting ready to wrap this one up. And that does it. Nut Farm at 30. Okay. Let's catch one more plate, and then we'll see where we're at. This is a great plate. A little bit of paint loss, very unique, cool font, and 92 years old. I really like the font on this. It's almost kind of a bubble type font. I believe it was black. It almost looks kind of purplish, but I think it was probably supposed to be black. For our friends from Iowa. Yes, 1933 Iowa. Check this thing out. I love this kind of bubbly up here. The 1933 and the Iowa is all bubbly. 33-6552. I think it's supposed to be black. In the certain light, it almost looks like a really, really dark purple. But I really think it is just a black. Backside, once again, in pretty decent shape. We've got a little bit of paint loss on some of the white as it surrounds the perimeter out here, as well as on the lettering. White and dark blue, okay? You can kind of see it more so on the back. But I do believe this is all original paint. Dimension-wise, this is actually 12.5. Actually about 12 5/8. Briggs at 10 by 5.5. So this is 12 5/8, a little bit longer than the plates that we're used to in today's world on this 1933 Iowa. Briggs kicking us off at 10. Let's get rolling and let's get this one sold. Nut Farm 15. There again, that's what's cool about doing some of these other states. We're seeing some of these different fonts, different colors. Gary 17. And it's pretty tough to go too wrong with license plates. Old school metal plates with cool colors. Briggs 20. Easy to display, easy to look at, great conversation pieces. 30 seconds gone. 60 seconds left to go. 1 minute gone. Gary, 21, 30 seconds left. This is a cool plate. What's going to happen these last 30 seconds? I'm guessing it is baling wire, but I'm not sure. That's the way it is in Kansas. I don't know much about these out-of-state plates. Austin at 30. Jesse, 22. I've got Austin at 30. We've got a few seconds left. Austin at 30 is my high bidder. Anybody else going to jump in there? We're coming down to the end on this one. Briggs, 33. Austin, 34. Big Job, 35, and that does it. Big Job, 35. Austin had a 36, but it was at 132. Tony had a 36. Big Job at 35 is who I had at the minute 30 mark. That almost got a little tricky. But Big Job at 35. Holy cow. Well, that got fun and interesting. Whew, got to step back and take a breather after that one. That was kind of got a little hairy, but it's what happens with some of that cool stuff. But anyway, still a lot of fun tonight, guys. A lot of cool stuff. Had a great time on all that stuff. Now we need more plates. We've got plenty more, Austin. Trust me. We've got a lot more plates to go. So anyway, what do you guys think? Like I said, I didn't get a magazine ready for tonight. I didn't know how big the crowd was going to be, and we have dropped off a few people already. So anyway, Austin just probably wants to buy more plates now. We got a lot more cool stuff coming. There's no doubt about it. Like I said, I just grabbed a couple of cool ones for tonight. Because I literally, these things have been here 3 or 4 days. I have not sorted them. I've not gone through them. I just knew that I was excited about them. I could see there was some cool stuff. I wanted to get a handful of them up and ready to go tonight. Gary wants more now. I've got a Kansas laying here. We haven't done a Kansas plate tonight. You guys want to do one more Kansas plate? It's an old one, and it's one that we haven't sold very many of because it's a good color, and it's one that we haven't seen very often. So, not much, believe it or not, Pete. That's like 6 milk crates. So, it actually doesn't take up that much real estate. I went to an auction about a year ago, and I bought... I'll have to look at my notes. I had it written down. 800 or 900, and they were all in the back seat of my Sonoma. So actually, it doesn't take up much. That's the nice thing about plates. That's one of the reasons I decided to go ahead and buy these is they don't take up a lot of real estate. So, and they're old school metal painted plates, and those are getting harder to find all the time. No problem, Brett. Just whenever you're back, let me know. So that was the great part about it is when it's like these don't take up a ton of room. After I get them sorted out and up on the shelves with the rest of the plates. So anyway, what do you guys think? We got more cool stuff coming up next week. What did I do on member videos that the public's going to be seeing next week? Engine rebuilding at do another plate. Everybody wants to do another plate. You guys want one more plate? Do the plate. All right. This is a Kansas, but once again, it's like these 51s. We haven't done very many of them. I haven't come across a lot of them. This one has really great color, and it's not an extremely common one. Pre-war, so a lot of them didn't survive. Great colors. On a 1941 Kansas, red background, yellow numbers. So this is a really good looking plate. It is 12 3/8 by 5 3/4. Yeah, these are good. Ketchup and mustard, that's right. I just haven't come across a lot of good 41s. So it's one that we haven't seen very often. So I hope you guys will respond and bid accordingly, because it's a good one. These definitely stand out. I mean, and I didn't polish this. We can see the red is a little bit brighter back there. Polish this up, this thing would really pop. Briggs 20, Austin 30. Actually, I got to give a timer back up. I'd already shut the timer off. But good looking piece. Let's get it going on the timer. Austin at 30 on this 1941 Kansas plate in red with yellow letters and numbers. Obviously all embossed. It is beautiful, Jesse. That's why I said this is a cool one we haven't seen. Glenn, 35. Alec at 15, but you're really late on that, Alec. It must have been hung up. Good idea, Pete. We're going to find out in 60 seconds because the first 30 seconds are gone. Glenn at 35. Nut Farm, 40. Gary at 37. Nut Farm just got in there ahead of you. Austin, 45. 1 minute gone, 30 seconds left. Austin at 45. Gary at 42, just behind Austin. Gary's just a tick late on all of these. Nut Farm at 50. Few seconds left. This one's ticking down. Nut Farm at 50. It's a beautiful plate. And that does it. Nut Farm at 50. Good looking piece. I think you'll be happy with that. All right, I guess that was only right that we went ahead and slid a Kansas plate in yet tonight. So, okay, that was fun. That was fun to slide one more in. Did get the Kansas plate done. Since we actually had not done a Kansas license plate, since we had that other stuff. But we got a lot of cool stuff that is going to be coming up. Sounds great, Austin. Appreciate it. Thanks to all you guys for participating in the auction night. Had a lot of fun. Even though we had a little bit smaller crowd, we still had a great time and had some cool stuff that are going to be headed out to you guys to add to your collections here very soon. So anyway, like I said, we've got the engine video coming up that will be going public from Auburn Court Duesenberg. What else did I put out this week? I don't even remember. The whole thing's been kind of a blur. So we got some more cool stuff coming up. We will definitely get some more member videos up as well. Toy Tuesday, I don't know what we'll do. Maybe we'll do some of those signs I got last week. I don't know. Yeah, it does. It's kind of cool seeing him fire that thing up, wasn't it, Pete? That's one thing about Auburn Court Duesenberg. With Auburn Courts and Duesenbergs, they were all Lycoming based because Lycoming was owned by E.L. Court. It was all part of the overall company. So all those engines, the 6s, the 8s, the 12s, the Duesenberg overhead cam engines, Lycoming. They were all Lycoming engines, but a very, very diverse family of Lycoming engines that were used in Auburn's, Cords, and Duesenbergs. So there again, those guys, they are specialized, but there's a lot of stuff out there that all falls under that umbrella, and they can do them all. Sounds good, Briggs. Glad you were here. And that's what, and they've got that test stand where they can test them, they can tune them. I mean, the tuning procedure for some of these things is crazy, but those guys know how to do it. So that's what's interesting about seeing those guys in action and some of the stuff they do at Auburn, Cord, Duesenberg. So that video will be going public this week. I hope you guys enjoy it. And we'll get some more cool stuff up. Tuesday night, we will definitely be on at 7 for some more Toy Tuesday. And hope to see you all back here next Sunday. I guess with that, we'll go ahead and wrap this up. But, yeah, because we've definitely got some guys that need to get rolling or jumping off. And I figured we would be down a little bit on viewers tonight because of the big game, and that's kind of what happened. But overall, we had a pretty solid audience throughout the whole episode. So thankful for all that. I appreciate you guys being here and supporting what we do. So anyway, you bet, Bill. Like I said, we've talked about this. You guys wanted to do it, so go ahead and do something. So that's what we're doing. I don't know if the game's over or not yet, but I know we have not had quite a full house like we typically do, but still had a great crowd anyway. So thanks, Big Red. I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys that do come by and support it and really do enjoy what we're doing here. It means a lot. That's right. It was probably due to your short, Pete. I'm sure that was it. I know it didn't hurt. If you guys haven't checked out the short Pete put up, it was pretty cool. I like what he did. It was pretty funny. So be sure to check out Pete's channel. And 147 left, 22-40. Okay, I guess that answers that. Tony just threw the same thing up. So thanks, Nut Farm. Appreciate that. So it's pretty much over the way it looks. And it looks like the Eagles may be pulling this one out. So anyway, with that, we'll go ahead and wind things down. Nobody's worried about the NFL here. And we'll save a little bit of energy for next week. Next week, number 250. And I think you guys are going to be excited to see what we've got planned. Not everything is nailed down, so I don't want to let the cat out of the bag, but I think you guys are all definitely going to want to be here next Sunday night. Thanks, Tony. I appreciate that. Especially if we can get some of this other stuff to come together that I'm hoping works out for next Sunday. You guys won't want to miss it. With that, we'll go ahead and wind her up, get ready to wrap it up, call it a night. I hope you guys like the new plates because we got a lot more cool stuff coming from there. Glad you guys responded to that well and are excited about them. You bet, Baling Wire. I'll get you totaled up. We'll see where we're at on used. Get your stuff headed that way. And be sure to, if you want to get in on the gathering, get with Pete. Get on the email list. Get your $20 into me so that, yeah, it'll be awesome to see Heather live in studio. You can bring the real Heather with you, too. That'd be all right. Thanks, Nut Farm. Appreciate that. And it does. It means a lot that you guys hang out here and really enjoy what we're doing here. Thanks for that big job. The Johnny Carson comments still baffle me that you guys think what we do here is of that sort of quality. But I do appreciate it, and it means a lot. It's really nice the support that you guys give me, not only by being here, but the kind words, the encouraging words, the participation in these chats, which is what really makes it what it is. Like we touched on earlier, talking about doing possibly a little bit of rebranding so more people have an idea of what we're talking about on here, but having a lot of fun doing it. Can't wait to see some of you guys in April. Stay tuned next week. You are not going to want to miss episode number 250. How crazy is that? Episode number 250 coming up next week. We sure hope to see you here. 7:30 next Sunday night. The 250th episode of the Nobody Show Sunday Night Chat. We sure hope to see you there. We'll catch some of you Tuesday night at Toy Tuesday, and we definitely hope to catch the rest of you next Sunday night. Big Job's a fan of the plates. Yeah, no kidding, Tim. It was like we just did 200. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's like, boom, we just did. And now we're looking at 250. But that's all because of you guys. This would be nothing without you other than this dumb sitting here babbling into a webcam. If it wasn't for your participation, your guys' knowledge, and you're willing to share that with everyone else and participate in this chat is what makes it what it is. So thanks for the applause, Kenny. I appreciate that. Thanks for being here, everybody. Stay tuned. Number 250 next week. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I don't think you're going to want to miss it. Have a great week, everybody, and we will see you next Sunday night at 7:30. And bring Janet, big job. I agree.